Yeah, Sunday, baby. How's it gonna go? Everybody good? I hope you are. Word. So today, we're going to talk about I want to eat healthy, but the food is nasty and it costs too damn much. I mean, it's a legitimate gripe. I don't think health food tastes nasty. Unless you don't know how to prepare it. But there are other gripes about so-called health food. And I'm not saying so-called as if it's not health food, but I'll explain further. You know, with the way the government is going, people losing their health care, we're going to have to consider alternatives. It ain't too many other ways around this, you know? So, with that being said, we're going to have to start being more mindful of what we put in our bodies. So it all starts here. Yeah. Yo, Stacey White. What's good? T. Carey, right? We good. So, I guess we gotta talk healthy today, y'all. Which is a good thing. Y'all know we always come through and do this. Shirley Cheryl, the world's most precious pearl. How you feeling, man? Good to see me, some you. I mean, the truth of the matter is that if health food really tasted that good, wouldn't everybody eat it? So we can't act like there are no challenges to it. Because even if it was cheaper, people ain't going to eat it if they don't like the taste of it. You know, now you and I know people who ain't eating no food that they don't like the taste of, even if the fountain of youth was in it. It is what it is. Dipples D's, what up? Yeah. I don't know about y'all, know some people who ain't eating no health food or healthy food regardless. They're like, I gotta find another way. And we probably have to speak about that too, because unfortunately, there are too many tasty alternatives to eating well. But they say you are what you eat. Some of us don't really know what that means. And even plenty of us who know what it means don't abide by it. But who likes to get that bad report from the doctor? None of us like to go to the doctor and get that blood work done. And they be like, yo, either you make that change or the environment is gonna make it. It's gonna make a change. You know what I mean? Because you ain't gonna be in it. So yo. We good. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 1:30 p.m. till around 3-ish. And the reason that we say 3-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should as well. Today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show, we are talking about I want to eat healthy, but it's nasty. I want to eat healthy, but the food is nasty and it costs too much. And I ain't spending that much. Y'all need to do something about this food. And I ain't really trying to be rude, but I don't like the taste. And I'm about to make it waste. Yo, make it taste better. Yo, heat it up like a sweater. I need some seasoning on that, but even with the seasoning, that shit's still whack. They ain't got no meat. What you mean I can't eat no meat? That's what I eat. Man, fuck out of here. I'ma take me a pill, sit back, relax, chill. I'ma run around the block maybe a few times until I have to stop. But I ain't gonna be eating that mess because I ain't serving it in the restaurant and I test. I'ma test the food before I eat it. Like I see you, I beat it. Beat it like an egg. I ain't trying to do that shit. Yo, this is how I segue into the next phase of my life. And I ain't trying to live long, but actually I am. But you know what I'm talking about. Anyway. What's up, y'all? What's good? Mariah Jenkins, what's good? How you feeling? And King 3753, is that part of your name or do they just add numbers on? Because I know they be adding numbers on to the end of your shit. So I'm thinking that you're probably just you said salad is pretty cheap. It's actually not. You know what I mean? Remember, you used to go to the restaurant, they give you the salad free with the meal. Now, with the whole organic thing and the whole eating healthy movement listen, it's not just a movement. People ain't out here eating healthy just because it's in vogue. They out here eating healthy because they trying to live. All of these diseases, all of these conditions, all of these all of these health conditions, baby. Health conditions. It's like they trying to get us up out of here, and it's working. You know, whether you start talking about going all the way back to the AIDS era, coming all the way up to the all of these different kind of flus, then the pandemic with the COVID-19, and all they bringing back measles, y'all, measles and mumps, and yo, I ain't know nobody had no measles, mumps, barely any chicken pox in the 90s. They bringing all of that back to the, and I'm not saying that nobody had it. Well, man, I never knew nobody that had measles in my life. Real shit. I never knew nobody that had the measles. Everybody I knew, I had the mumps. I never had chicken pox. My sister had chicken pox before. And people used to be absent from my classes when I was real little because of chicken pox all the time. That was back in the days when your mom would call everybody in and try to get everybody's chicken pox so we could get it all out of the way with one. We ain't gonna be quarantined in just one person. Everybody gonna have the chicken pox, or as we call them, the chicken pops. Yeah, the chicken pops. That's what we called it. That's what we thought it was till we actually seen it written down. Like, oh, it's chicken pox. We was calling it the chicken pops, and I used to be wondering, like, why would they call a sickness chicken pops? Okay, so good, Carla was good. And what's that, Kabir? What up, Kabir? So yeah, nobody wants to have all these conditions, but they bringing old diseases back. They bringing back the throwback diseases. Chicken pox, measles, mumps. Like, huh? I thought we got rid of all that stuff. But, you know, and with the government shutdown and the whole, you know, they losing the ACA or the Obamacare subsidies. So healthcare is going to be through the roof for people who don't have it through their job, and even expensive for people who have it through their job. It's getting nasty out here, real nasty. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have to do things in order to take care of our health a little bit better, because we won't be able to just run to the doctor. And speaking of running to the doctor is a reactive thing, ain't it? The doctor don't keep you healthy. He reacts to when you're not healthy. He may give you some suggestions. What's up? What's up, grown woman? Don't try me. How you feeling, CC? Good to see you, without a doubt. But yeah, you know, going to the doctor, that's reactive. So that's what, you know, they talking about with the insurance and all of that. They talking about the people who are already sick, pre-existing conditions and shit like that. Now, some of y'all have gone to the doctor this year or years before, and y'all got that bad report card about y'all health through the blood work. Diabetes, high cholesterol, blood pressure, all crazy, even though the blood pressure is not through your blood. You know, they put the joint on your arm. I struggle with that too. I'm like, look, man, let me live, son. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying, I mean, hold on, let me put this hardware away. Let me put my toys away. You know what I mean? Put my toys away, and put them away so we can go ahead and talk like real men and women should. Had this convo. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Urban Therapy with Son show. Whoa. So yeah. So some of y'all got that bad report card. The diabetes, the cholesterol. Hate to say this, some of y'all may have gotten the cancer diagnosis. And then that's not normally through your blood, but it can show some symptoms of needing to get deeper tests when your blood work comes out and your numbers are all. I hate the C word. Hate the C word, but I mean, when it happens, it happens. People with heart conditions, people with all kind. So they say that there is a food, an herb, something that you ingest, take, eat, chew, swallow, no diddy, that will either remedy whatever conditions you have and potentially cure it or keep it away. But it all starts with what you eat. And of course, exercise is important too. There are people out there that think that they can eat anything that they want because they run or because they lift weights or because they lift weights and they do aerobic exercise and strength training and all of that shit. And they figure, well, this will keep the doctor away. Well, it'll keep it away to a certain extent, but what's going on in your body is going on in your body. And anybody can get the bacteria up in there, virus up in there, you know what I mean? Parasites, all that kind of shit. Y'all know how it go. Sometimes I wonder how long we were actually supposed to naturally live in this world, because we have all of these advances in medicine and all of that kind of stuff now, but we didn't have that before, and people still lived. They lived. Now, it's easy for people to say, yeah, because the food was organic before, the food was from the earth, everything was good. It wasn't all good. Not for people who got my skin tone. It wasn't good. We was eating the scraps. Hey, it is what it is. But no matter what you eat or how much you exercise, you ain't gonna live forever. So we're gonna talk about that today. I want to eat healthy. I guess it should say I want to eat healthily, but I would never say that. I want to eat healthy, but the food is nasty. Now I'm gonna just put it out there. You know what beef that a lot of people have with health food, organic food, and all that. One thing that people have against it is that it's not served hot. Most of it is not served hot. People like a hot meal. They grew up on that shit. A hot meal. Most health food is served either room temperature or cold. And that's just a fact. So when they serve it hot or steamed, like let me get some steamed cabbage, let me get some steamed green beans. It's cold. It's cold and it's not cooked all of the way, because when you cook it all the way, you cook out the nutrients. Which makes sense. What do you know that burns and still keeps its same shape or structure or, molecular structure, whatever. So when you cook it, like the whole meat thing, most meat eaters, they like that shit tender. Like this is falling off the bone. Well, let me just put y'all on to something real quick. There is no such thing as healthy meat. There isn't. There's a strong case that human beings were never supposed to eat meat, just because of the way our teeth are structured. It's not, animals out in the wild, they don't cook the food. They eat it right there. The blood is the seasoning. It is what it is. Human beings, we gotta hunt the animal, slaughter the animal. Then we gotta cook the food, because if we ever ate meat straight raw, we gonna die. Our digestive system is not built. Think about it. If it's not built to eat the meat raw, how is it built to eat the meat cooked? And you might say, because it's cooked, dummy. Well, anyway, one of the beefs that people have with health food is that it's not hot. They want their food hot. Well, but it ain't gonna be healthy if it's hot. Well, I don't give a. Look, I'm not eating no room temperature, this, that, and the third. And I'm tired of cold sandwiches. You tried to bring me an organic hoagie. I ain't eating it. Never heard of carnivores, I guess. Human beings are actually not carnivores. But you could say that we are whatever we say we are because we make ourselves into whatever image that we want to make ourselves in. I guess you could say it's because we have free will and free range, and we're sort of at the top of the food chain, but not naturally. Oh, omnivores. First of all, don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like that. Yeah, I can read, pussy. Now, see, I mean, you know what? I take that back. We can eat meat. We can eat meat. All right, I'm a chill. We good. Please pardon me. Please pardon me. But when you say shit like, can you read? See, don't do that, dog. Don't do that. Yeah, I mean, trying to chill. I'll get you the fuck on out of here. And I don't want to be in a bad mood today. I'm in a good mood today. I'm good. I am. I'm good. But anyway, so yeah. So it's one of the real problems that people have with health food is that it's often served cold. So if you're used to hot meals, things put on the grill, it can become a problem. It can be a problem. It can be a problem. so among along with the food not having a lot of seasoning with it, and culturally it might be hard for some people to really get into health food. Like people think that just black people season they shit up, but it's not true. Like you look at Italians, they so used to all that pasta and bread and pasta, pasta and bread and pasta. It ain't easy for them to cross over and stop eating, a lot of carbs in the pasta. Especially the way they prepare it. And the way they prepare it from scratch, you would think that that's natural. And natural doesn't always mean that it's good for you. Like natural just means that that's the way it is. That's the way it is. So anyway. So there can be a lot of problems when it comes to, the desire to eat healthy. It can come with a whole set of circumstances. And these are some of the things that we have to deal with, but we're going to talk about it today. And the cost. Can't forget the cost, because it costs. It costs. Organic. Why should organic produce cost way more than regular produce? If somebody can explain to me how that makes any sense, when there used to be nothing but organic produce. That's like the shit from the earth, like the seed in the ground, bury it, water, light, tree, plant, food. And it's amazing how that's not the process when it comes to so much of our produce now. But let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead, grab my chair so we can talkity talk. Talkity talk. What's good, y'all? I hope everybody is feeling good today. I do. I hope everybody's feeling all right. I am. So, let me ask y'all this. Do most of y'all consider yourselves to be healthy eaters or practice a healthy lifestyle, or do you have a way to go? If y'all would be so kind, for those of y'all who are in the chat, or some of y'all who are in the background that are willing to come outside, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your attention to, yes and no. how would you rate how would you rate your level of healthy eating? Your practice. Your practice. Like, would you say that most of the things that you eat are healthy, or would you say that most of the things that you eat are unhealthy? So one would be totally unhealthy, like you don't eat no health food, that's just not what you do. And five would be, yes, I always eat healthy. I'm always mindful of the things that I eat. I read labels on packet on food packages and all that kind of stuff. I'm up on it. I'm trying to make sure that I'm only putting in the good stuff. What would y'all rate? Now, for myself, I would say I'm about a 3. I'm about a 3. To other people, I might be a 5. Compared to other people, I might be a 5, but I'm about a 3. I am mindful about the things that I eat, the things that I drink, things that I ingest. But do I always eat the right things? No, no. I like shit like caramel and a little bit of chocolate. I like vanilla. I like sweets. And it's funny because I didn't really used to like sweets like that. For like most of my 20s and 30s, I didn't eat a whole lot of sweets. I think when I stopped drinking, then that let the sweets come back in. Like, yo, now you can eat cake. You wasn't eating cake when you and on the real, there's actually a good reason for that. Because alcohol is a form of a sugar. Your body processes alcohol like sugar.
You have a call from
Caller with the last numbers 1132. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. What's on your mind this afternoon? What's good?
Happy weekend.
Happy weekend to you.
I think I'm a 6.
I said on a scale of 1 to 5.
But I'm a 6. I'm a 6 because I'm tired of eating healthy.
But I said,
well, a 5, darling, a 5.
Wait, so you always eat healthy?
Not all the time, though. And when I don't eat healthy, I like sweets, right? But if I overdo it, it's like I hear a conviction. If I overdo it, and I be like, just let me live. I'm trying to get a breakthrough for my health and my body.
Okay.
And I know food is a great medicine. So, and then I know God is using me for something and something. So, I lost the weight by eating that way. It's not easy. And food is like the plant-based and vegan. I tried both of the diets. It's nasty.
Why you say it's nasty?
It's nasty. I bought some peanuts and I love peanuts, but I bought it plant-based. I was like, this supposed to have salt on it. It's just nasty. I can tell the difference.
You can.
I can tell the difference. I was like, no, I can't work with this, no. So I just, I do want to continue to eat healthy, but you have to give me wisdom. Like when I was using my air fryer, that helped me lose a lot of weight. But the thing about the air fryer, it makes you lazy and it makes you not want to cook because it's quicker.
Well, but isn't it cooking?
It's still cooking, but I like to cook. That makes me lazy. I don't want to be lazy and take shortcuts.
Wait.
You can forget how to cook.
But there are different ways to cook rather than the traditional way that I think I know what you mean, but you're still cooking regardless.
The air fryer did make me lose weight. It cleared up my face. But if I cook in the oven, I find myself if I cook in the oven, That's good. And I cook like fried fish. I can have baked fish. I can have like fried fish too. All I gotta do is buy the bread, put the stuff on the bread on the fish, and that'll fry it in the oven. And
Mm,
I forget I used to do that for the chicken, so that's what I'm gonna start doing for chicken. Because
mm.
you need to get rid of that oil. Oil breaks your face out a lot too if you eat a lot of greasy food.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, so I'm trying. I had to adapt to like it because I didn't always like eating healthy, but I damn sure don't like that vegan. No,
Yeah, vegan lifestyle is a shock to the system if you're going from like if you're going from fried chicken to vegan, it's gonna be tough.
yeah,
It is.
yeah.
That's
From
gonna be
fried
that's
chicken
gonna be a
to
tough
just the
transition.
oven is tough because my favorite food is fried chicken,
Yeah, mine too.
but it's gonna be tough for me.
Well,
And it's like, yeah, I told you I like to eat. I think, I had to choose. I like to eat, period. And I love, my thing was junk food. And that's what made me big. Not food, period, but just overeating junk food, but I have to eat in moderation,
right.
you know. But I have seen a difference, like in my weight and also in the pain. But, and also, my confidence is more. Like when I was big, people would think you was not big, but I wasn't confident when I was that size.
Okay.
So by me being the weight that I am, I'm confident and I'm not hurting as bad.
Okay.
I don't.
Wait, what?
I
Wait,
just
wait,
work.
wait. Why were you hurting before? What was hurting?
Well, I have RA. Actually, it was I had the old osteoporosis. That's the pain of arthritis, but that's different from regular arthritis because you can get that like in cold. It goes in many ways and just pain.
Uh.
And then as I got older and became an adult, it's just strictly pain.
Okay.
And my mother did try to. My mother has. We was on. I was on the right track, but my mother was trying to put me on a diet. She wanted all of us to go on a diet, but I found that we was still on the right track, but I didn't cut out a lot of the junk food.
Junk food like
Like
what?
all kind of stuff, like I, the fat girl foods, like the honey buns, um, the Milky Ways, the candy bars. Sometimes I don't even go near them, but I had one the other day. I was like, oh, I can't eat this too often because this was maybe what it was.
Yeah.
Just for like the food that my life, you know what? God definitely transformed my life where I don't even recognize it no more. And some of the stuff, the food that I used to go to, I feel bad when I go back to it because I don't know if I know how to eat it in moderation or not.
You don't know if you know how to eat in moderation?
Yeah, because I like so much, that's my go-to. That's like comfort food. And I'm just not, I'm dealing with seasonal depression.
Okay.
And if you eating the wrong kind of food, that's not good.
Does your seasonal depression make you eat?
Yeah, because you don't want to be sad no more.
So the food makes you happy.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of the problem. And it's something that I struggle to understand. Hold on a second.
You have a call from.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big part. That's something that I've never really understood about the whole food making you happy thing. Like,
Yeah.
I like the
I get,
taste of it and everything, but it ain't like, I don't
I,
know.
I get the answer.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. When you were growing up, did your parents like give you treats to make you feel better? Like, if you do this, or offer you like a reward system, like if you do this, I'll give you a cookie, or I'll give you some sweets, or I'll give.
No. My
No?
mother,
Okay.
she gave me allowance. My grandmother and my mother gave me allowance, but they never fed me or nothing like that.
Okay, so you were never bribed with food or encouraged with food or anything like that?
No, I just like I got paid, a little $10 or $5 here, $10 there, something like that.
Okay. I'm just trying to find out what the origin of, like food making you happy would be.
I didn't start that until now, until like 8 years ago.
But how does it make you happy? Just
It
because it tastes good?
it tastes good, and then it's like, first of all, I think I pray first, but then when I get something that I really like, I just start feeling better. I just feel better.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Kinda. Like I like good food as much as anybody, but
I love food. I always love food, but if you have to make it a balance, and I realize that food is. You have to be careful because food is connected. My food when I was eating, it was connected to lust too. When I wasn't, when I was doing stuff that I ain't had no business doing, that was all that stuff was tied in. And when I stopped doing that, the lust and all that, it went away. The food, the overeating, all that stuff went away.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's all connected together.
Who knew? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew because I know what I was doing. I knew I was soul searching, and I know how God deal with me. So, yeah, but I'm doing better, and like I said, it's a daily struggle because I haven't. I lost the weight, but I still struggle because, like I said, I like to eat, and certain things I like to eat.
So
and certain healthy foods I like too.
Name some.
Huh?
Name some.
I love salad. My favorite healthy food is chicken salad. I love any kind of salad. My favorite dressing is ranch. I need to switch over because I'm end up getting tired of
Wait.
ranch.
Did you say
ranch.
wait?
Now, people say you ain't supposed to put a lot of ranch in your dressing. I was like, I does that, and I ain't gained no weight.
Wait, did you say chicken salad?
Yes, I love chicken salad.
Chicken salad with the mayonnaise and all of that shit in it?
No, I don't like mayonnaise. I like ranch and mine.
No, but I'm asking, are you talking about a salad with chicken in it or chicken salad? Because chicken salad is like potato salad.
No, chicken salad is a regular chicken salad. You can put your own, or it'll come. You can buy it with just chicken and bacon. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I like that. I basically live off of that.
I think everybody who been to the cookout know what I'm talking about. Chicken salad.
I know what you're talking about too, but I ain't talking about that.
All right. Okay.
No, I'm not talking about that. Just a regular salad, seasoned salad, and some chicken added to it.
All right.
Yeah, so I like that. So that's a great health food that I like. My thing is I'm trying to cut back on the pasta because I didn't realize pasta makes you big, but I love pasta.
Yeah, that don't seem fair. Pasta got back in the day. They said pasta was good for you. Back in the day, they used to say carbohydrates were good for you. Now they done flipped all of that around. They used to say that fat was the problem. You shouldn't eat stuff with a lot of fat in it. Now they saying, nah, you can eat fat with the fuck them carbs. I'm like, damn, everything is a carb almost.
And I used to hate fruit because they ain't making fruit like they're supposed to. So I used to buy my fruit and put them in smoothies. But somehow I learned to eat fruit, just plain fruit, because I remember my mother telling me, don't give up buying stuff if it's not right. Keep on buying it and just eat it as, like you're supposed to eat it.
Yeah.
And I'm learning how to eat my fruit without putting it in a smoothie, because I think it's better and more healthier if you eat the fruit, not blended up.
Yeah.
And then I eat a lot of spinach. I do not like kale. Oh, I hate kale. Kale is too bitter.
I don't like it because it's tough.
Yeah.
That shit hard to chew. You gotta cook that shit for a long time. I don't care what nobody say.
I don't care how you season or cook it, it's just nasty.
Uh,
So I eat a lot of spinach. And you know what? That's because I don't make turnips and mustard. I grew up on that kind of green family that my mother. But I just don't do it. So it ain't that I can't do it, but it's just me. So I just eat spinach. It's real quick. And matter of fact, I think I'm the only person in my family that eats spinach by itself.
okay.
They be add cream of spinach. They be doing it all kind of way. I just eat. I can eat spinach either. Make it by itself like a salad, but I like it mostly cooked.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna help me lose my weight.
Okay.
When they told me I was diagnosed with pre-diabetic, I was like, I don't like this stuff for sure because they didn't say anything to get your money.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to really work harder on my diet. And the next time I went back, it was good.
Okay.
It was good. So I'm still watching it, but I like to eat and I like drinking stuff. I like I like sugary coffee. And the only reason why I drink coffee is because the medicine that I do take, it makes me drowsy.
Mm-hmm.
And don't nobody want to be asleep all the time. And I'm scared of energy drink.
What, because of the caffeine?
I don't know. My mother used to drink it. She used to do both the coffee and the energy drink. But I'm just scared of energy drink.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them. I like the Coca-Cola one, but I just have to be careful with that. I don't want my heart racing drinking that stuff.
Yeah.
So, no. I did. It took a long time for me to lose this weight. And I kept it off for 25 years. Then the doctor would go tell me I got to gain 20 pounds. I looked at that doctor like I wanted to slap him.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I understand. And it's so expensive. I be buying organic stuff. That stuff is so expensive.
It is. It is. There's no way around it. That shit, it just costs a
That's
lot.
all. Yeah, that's all my family eats organic. And I don't like going over there. They are strictly health nuts. I'll be like, oh, hell no. One time, my cousin's wife was like, you ain't got to bring no food. Yes, I do. I don't eat what y'all eat.
Okay.
They is healthy. They health nuts.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Kim, where you at?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's good? How you?
What's up? So I want to talk on three things y'all talked about, and then I want you to bring me up to speed because I'm kind of not sure 100% what the conversation is, but I think I know. So when it comes to kale, we should already know that kale is a hybrid. It's a genetically modified food. So it's not something from the past. We didn't grow up eating kale because it wasn't something that existed really. It is a hybrid. So kale is not a good thing to eat any damn way because it's a hybrid. Not a natural green from the ground. It's modified. It's something made in a lab. So that's the reason why it's so tough, because it's like that. And then when it comes to these energy drinks, no one should be drinking them. It's chemicals. That's all they are. Energy drinks is a bunch of chemicals. That's the reason why it's so rough on the heart. That's the reason why it's so rough on the kidneys and the liver, because it's just all chemicals. So those are things we should be mindful of anyway. But there's a bigger problem that should be addressed. Like even when it comes to eating fruit, we don't eat it the way it should be eaten. We don't eat it when it's seasonal, and we don't eat it when it's regional. Like everybody now, I hear people complain about the watermelon I'm eating. It's not sweet because it's.
Oh, shit. The app crashed. Sorry, the app crashed. I need an app crash. An app crash. An app crash. I need an app crash. Sorry about that, y'all. Stacy dropping jewels. Kim dropping jewels. And then the call dropped. Take that, Jewels.
Why are you on both of my lines?
First of all, the other line, I don't know what's up with that because the app dropped. I mean, the app crashed, so I had to call you back. So you can click off the other one. I don't know how you want it anyway. That's what the whole music sound like?
Okay, I'm back.
Wait, that's what the whole music sound like?
It sounds like what? Oh, you got to hear it?
Yeah, that's what that.
It's trash. It is garbage.
I didn't know. Like, yo, that shit would drive me. No wonder nobody like to get put on hold. That shit is ass.
Exactly. Welcome to the party.
All right, so back to what do you remember where you are?
I don't remember what's the last thing you heard. So I know I was saying that kale is not a natural green.
All right, you said that already.
Did you hear the energy drink?
Yeah, I think you was around that part.
Fruit. Did you hear the fruit part? Okay. So what I was saying, the problem with fruit is we're not eating fruit the way we should be eating it. We're not eating it in a seasonal way, and we're not eating it in a regional way. And when I hear people complain about having watermelon that's not sweet right now, I'm like, why are you eating watermelon right now? Because it's not seasonal any place in the United States right now. So of course it's not going to be sweet, and you're eating seedless watermelon. So what on earth are you expecting to get? And if you're eating watermelon that's sweet right now, you're eating a genetically modified watermelon. So again, what are you talking about? Almost everything we're eating now is junk food because we are in a society that is just not, we're in a country definitely that's not about real food. That's for sure. If anybody can remember what food tasted like, you know, people who were born in the Gen X crew and the baby boomers, if you can remember, there is a huge difference between what food tastes like now than then, and that is down to our fruit. I remember I purchased an apple and I bit into it. Somebody rang the doorbell, and I just set it down on the counter. Went and talked, hung out, did all kinds, forgot about it. Hours later, I came back to it. The apple never turned brown. It was still like I just bit into it. And I said, something is wrong here. I threw the whole bag away. So that's part of our problem. We are eating junk food anyway. Like, we are not eating the healthiest possible foods in this country. That's the reason why a lot of things are banned in banned in the rest of the world, but they're okay in the United States. And what's crazy to me is some things are banned in California and not in the rest of the state.
Yeah, that's
insanity to me. So that should be a representation of what the problem is. But that's not ever going to be addressed in this country. Because even this idiot who is supposed to be over our food doesn't even recognize what the problems are. We are in a country that is designed to kill us. And that's the truth. It's not a conspiracy theory. It is a fact. Now, saying kill us may be a little extreme, but it's definitely designed to keep us in a state where Big Pharma, the government, whoever you want it to be, is making the most possible money they can off of us. So there are so many bigger issues to address. Like, I have a friend now who's just like, I'm just going to eat whatever because nothing is healthy. And I get it. I get what she's saying and I understand it. But we do have to take...
that's a cop-out.
And find a way. Go ahead.
That's a cop-out because everything isn't unhealthy. But the way that you prepare it can be unhealthy, and the way that you consume it can be unhealthy. And that's even if it's 100% healthy, you can still make something that's really good for you bad for you if you do it the wrong way, or if you do it excessively. You know what I mean? Just like, well, I'm just going to say this. Like, if you feel like most of the food that's available out here that you are aware of isn't as healthy as it should be, what you can make yourself aware of are the ways that you can make your overall health regimen healthier. Like, for example, maybe the food that you like to eat isn't all of that healthy, but you can at least counter some of those things that you eat by eating by knowing which herbs to take, so it can reduce the negative effects of what you're eating. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not going to be on the total road to redemption, listen, they have Google or Siri on every phone, and you can speak to that shit. You know, go to your settings and allow it to record your voice, or use the camera for the search mic, and just ask it which kind of herbs are good for whatever condition that you may be ailing from or experiencing or whatever, and it'll tell you. And of course, the educational piece of culturalism has to be there. And what I mean by that is you have to be around people who are going to put you up on ways that you can counter all of the negativity. But just deciding that you're just going to roll the dice and hope that you'll live to be 94 like your grandmother did, even though she ate ham sandwiches every day and smoked viceroys. I don't know if that's a good strategy. So
It's not. And when she says it, I'm just like, I'm through talking to you because this is what you're saying.
mhm.
You know, and her answer is, well, I eat fruit. But she's eating like canned peaches or the little Del Monte fruit cups. And I'm like, why don't I eat a real peach?
Yo, that shit got so much sugar in it.
Yeah, it's processed.
Like people who be eating canned tomato. I mean, people who eat canned pineapple. I'm like, pineapple not sweet enough? They had to add sugar to the fucking pineapple? Like, come on,
I want to
man.
fight everybody who can get fresh pineapple and eat it in the summer. I want to fight them because I love pineapple, but I'm so allergic to the bromelain that I can't have it. So
Pineapple is rough. I eat it every day.
Fresh pineapple and you're not eating it. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's how I combat it. And I'm not saying I eat perfectly or healthy all the time because I don't. My mantra is eat to live. Like the book, like the things, like all the whatever. Eat to live. So there are specific things that I hate, but I know I need them for my survival.
Mm.
Because for me, it's not just about weight loss. You can't just lose weight and not be healthy. Like that's nothing. Like this same person I'm talking about, her thought is skinny means healthy. And I'm like, no, it does not. But okay, go with that. I absolutely hate beets. I think God made a mistake with beets, with the taste. Because I'm like, what is this? Why do these taste like dirt? However, I drink beet juice because it's the eat to live situation. Now, it takes me a minute to chug it down, and I always want to vomit, but I know I need it for iron. I know I need it to purify my blood. I know I need it for inflammation. I know I need it for my liver. So it's one of those things that I'm like, oh, here we go. Let me just do it and feel the rest of the day terrible. That's just what it is. And that's how we have to look at it. But it has to be, this is going to sound mean. And for the people it sounds mean to, it is what the fuck it is. You just have to look at, when you say cultural identity, you really have to dig all the way back into the roots and the history of African people. Because that's where it's going to come from. That's where the reality is going to come from. And I'm not talking about today, Africa. I'm not talking about, because they serve the bullshit in Africa now. Because it's too many people coming from the United States there, and they're catering to. You have to sit down with somebody who is old school and cooks like that. You have to sit down with somebody who might be Rastafarian, and I mean the real one. I'm not talking about somebody who just sit around and smoke weed. I'm talking about somebody who really cooks like that, who cooks IPAC. And I know everybody says Mediterranean, but honey, that comes from the mother. That comes from the root. That comes from where this planet comes from. And that is not Italian people or Greek people. That is African people. So that's where you're going to come from. Kale is not a natural African green. It's just not. Just like we got sweet potatoes in the United States, but they are strict to yam. And and people don't even understand there's a difference between the two because we grew up in the United States on candied yam. And we think a yam is a yellow thing, but it's a sweet potato, it's a totally different thing. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff we fail on in this country because we have been raised on this food pyramid that was absolutely ridiculous. Because how many years have we taught that milk does your body good, and milk is good for your bones, and milk is garbage, and we shouldn't be drinking from a can.
All right, now here's the thing. Not all hybrids are totally useless. Like, for example, kale has a higher alkalinity content than the other greens do. It's just a fact. And same thing with broccoli. Broccoli is not, grown from the earth necessarily, but it is very high in alkalinity compared to other natural fruits natural vegetables or whatever, or organic vegetables. So it's like you're not totally, this is why knowing certain things is so important, because if we just go the whole, it has to come from the earth route, then you're taking us into the Dr. Sebi zone, which is not a bad zone. But as a naturopathic practitioner, he charged so much for his services and for his foods and shit. You might as well you might as well do like your girlfriend was talking about and just go ahead and eat whatever the fuck you want to eat, because nobody could afford that shit. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing with her saying that she's doing that, but she also is taking this Ozempic stuff. So that's why I'm like, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and a lot of people are going to take that route. A lot of people are going to.
I agree with you with eating like Dr. Sebi. It's almost impossible to do that 100%. And a lot of the stuff is not available to us. And of course, there are safety regulations we have to be concerned with when it comes to that. For example, like I hate flaxseed and chia seed, but I include them in my the way I eat. However, the next thing you know, you hear, well, there's a batch that has had some kind of E. coli or some kind of outbreak or some kind of listeria or some shit like that. So it's always a concern when you're trying to eat, especially when it comes to natural good grains or seeds or something like that, even nuts, because of these things. So you just have to be mindful, and you can't do both at the same time. You can't stick to healthy herbs and think you can continue consuming processed food. And I don't even think people understand something as simple as this impossible mess, impossible burger, impossible meat, impossible whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to be healthy eating it. That's true. You can't think you're going to heal internally if you are eating this stuff that is man-made. You just can't. A bunch of put together stuff in a lab is not going to be the answer. And I know we are concerned about our natural stuff, and I get it, but we just have to find a balance in there some kind of way. And it's just mindful modifications to what you're eating that make a difference, like cutting out a bunch of processed bread. Like my dad, he beat cancer, but he still eats some of the things he enjoys, like sourdough bread. But the difference is he's not going to the store and buying sourdough bread. They are literally making it themselves. Um, and they don't use white flour. They don't use white sugar, these kind of things. And they incorporate a lot of natural herbs and real tea that's made from real tea leaves and natural teas like soursop tea, natural teas like clove tea, those kind of things. They don't eat dairy, they don't eat cheese, they don't drink milk, and they also don't buy like almond milk and stuff like that because those things have chemicals in them. And we have to read labels. You know, even with something as simple as peanut butter, people think, well, this peanut butter is great here and it's the better peanut butter, but natural peanut butter only, it really should just be one ingredient, but sometimes it's two, and it's peanuts and salt. So
Mhm.
the natural peanut butter is just peanuts. So it's those simple modifications that can make a little bit of a difference, but for real, it is so much more to it. It's not just the chemicals we're eating from processed foods, but it's a combination of the chemicals we're already consuming in space, and then the chemicals we apply to our bodies, the chemicals we use in toothpaste, all those things combined make us unhealthy. And it seems ridiculous to think about it because you're brushing your teeth, you're spitting it out. But just think of it in the terms of when you use a tincture, use it under your tongue because it goes immediately to your bloodstream because it's going into those open pores in your mouth. Well, so is that toothpaste. So is that Listerine mouthwash. All of these things we have to consider and think about and really start making changes all over for our health, for us to be healthier, for us to survive. And again, this food is different than the food we grew up on. The taste is different. The smell is different. How it's stored is different. Like my grandmother used to keep real butter. She didn't have to refrigerate it. In other parts of the world, they don't refrigerate real butter because it's natural. But in the United States, most things we have to refrigerate. And people think margarine is the answer. And I'm like, margarine is an absolute chemical bomb. But we're watching these things. We see these people cook this stuff on the television and these cooking shows, and everybody's about whatever somebody's cooking on TikTok, and then you got the new people on the planet who think they are the experts at cooking, and then we have all these weird combinations of stuff in the United States that other parts of the world, when they watch these shows and they get excited to come to the United States and eat this food, and you can see the difference in them as they consume the things we consume in the United States. And you're like, oh, see, tried to tell you. And that includes our seafood because we know a lot of it's full of mercury because we don't take care of this planet we are renting the space on. So our waterways are trash. And so our seafood is trash. And then you introduce this new fish, sway. I don't know how the fuck it's pronounced.
Swai.
Because everybody says it different. But that's not a real fish at the end of the day, nor is tilapia. Because in my life growing up, I've never heard anybody say, hey, I went fishing and I caught a swan. I've heard them say I caught a catfish, bluegill, perch, trout.
Well, swai is not. Swai is actually a fish, but it's over in China. So that's why we didn't import food from China before.
Fish.
It's not
not natural.
All right. So tilapia is actually is a fish, but yeah, there's a lot to it. And it's either way
fish.
Like I said, there's a lot to it. I wouldn't recommend eating that shit. I knew people would gravitate toward that swai shit because they think it's, first of all, the name of it makes you think that you're eating something good. I don't know why. And then because it's lighter, and that gives people the air of white meat, which they associate with health, and they don't really realize they've been duped. But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
T. Carey, those are two different fish. Somebody said that before, and the breakdown of it's not basa at all. It's somebody saying it now to put it out there in the world to counteract that it's a genetically modified fish.
No, swai is a fish. It's just not. You would never catch a swai in America. It doesn't.
It's not a natural fish.
Okay. Let's see. Is swai a freshwater fish or a sea fish?
It's a farmed.
It says it's a freshwater fish, specifically a type of catfish, native to Mekong River in Southeast Asia. Not a saltwater fish, though it's often farm raised in Vietnam and sold globally. Often, but doesn't mean that's the same thing with tilapia. It's often farm raised, but it's not all the way. You know, there are some natural tilapia out there. It's just that, you know, they caught up to it. And, but like I said, swai is like a catfish. So, you know, catfish are like bottom feeders. So, I mean, you can eat that shit if you want. But, yeah, it is what it is. So, you know, I mean, I understand where you're coming from because, you know, you don't want to eat, most people don't want to eat farm-raised fish if they know anything about it. But it's not, it does actually swim in waters other than contained, a contained environment.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Carrie said, either way is trash. There you go. It is definitely
trash.
I don't fuck with catfish no more. You know what I mean? Like, I eat that shit. It's funny because my mom never made catfish at the crib.
Mine didn't either.
Yeah, I didn't, you know, catch up with catfish till I was like fully grown. But I mean, people eat what they eat what they eat. I mean, it's funny how you can say you don't eat catfish, but then you'll eat crabs and shrimp and clams and oysters.
And I don't eat those either.
Yeah, I mean, because a bottom feeder's a bottom feeder. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it go. And I don't necessarily subscribe to the whole, well, if you eat this, then you might as well eat that. Like, well, no, not exactly. You know, because of your genetic makeup or the way that your body composition is, you may your cells may or may not react to some things negatively or as negatively as it does to others. You know what I mean? So you really have to know yourself in order to be able to feed yourself efficiently to the point where you can start making more beneficial gains than going the other direction. So I understand. I definitely understand. But there's the education piece of this is what's going to make you or break you. But we also have to be careful because we say that knowing is half the battle. But I know people who know a lot of shit, and I know a lot of shit, and I don't always do the right thing either.
Exactly. That's the unfortunate side of being human.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And it comes at a cost. Health comes at a cost. Like something as simple as soap. That comes at a cost. I try to purchase natural soap, but it comes at a cost. It's a lot more expensive than buying a bar dial.
Dial used to be good soap when it was orange. Very antibacterial.
I don't know about that.
Well, back in the day it was. That was the antibacterial soap. But, you're not supposed to.
Antibacterial, but now it's more whack.
Well, you're not supposed to use antibacterial soap every day. You know, your skin has to.
Mm-hmm.
Your skin got to get its shit off, basically. I mean, you can't keep killing everything that's on it.
That's the thing about it. We have to do. There are some things we have to know to let our body rest from, like antibacterial stuff. But Dal is made different now. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's more waxy to it. It has a different smell to it. I agree with you, Terry, about making your own soap. I do that sometimes, especially when I used to make toiletries. But everything is the cost is cut for the maker, but the consumer picks up an additional cost. Because if you look at an old bar of Dial, think about how it was back then and look at it now. It's more orange and it's waxy. It's got a coating over it.
Yeah,
It smells
I haven't
different.
seen Dial in a long time.
I bought some here a while back just because I was watching something and I was like, oh, let's see if you tell the truth. And I bought it and I looked at it, I was like, well, I'll be damned. It's different. It is different. And it's so much more harsh to the skin now. It's we are just in unique times. And we just have to find a way to navigate them even a little bit. Because this ain't the same shit. The water's not even the same water. So,
So what would you say that like according to the poll question, what would you say the biggest hang up is with most people that you know or your experience with eating more healthy? What do you think? What would you say that the biggest problem is with the people you know,
the people I know is
including yourself, of course?
finances. The finances. For me, it's finances and finding the healthy stuff. Like, I would love to have year-round produce that's natural and healthy. So the best I could do with it is in the summer, get it from the farmers and then freeze it. That's the best I can do, or some canning, or drying it out. That's the best I can do with it. And that's not always the end all be all because you still, it's not, some of it's not designed for longevity and you can't keep it in the freezer forever. So there's that. And I don't just think you can get an abundance of it to supply the fall and the winter. And eating regionally and seasonally is not always easy to do, even though it would help. Like, we know what to eat in spring. Asparagus, the best asparagus is spring asparagus. The best time to eat ramps is that 1 week they're available in the spring. The best time to eat apples, we know, specific apples, is in the fall. The best time to eat specific squash, is in the fall. So like watermelon, that is a summer fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be mindful of all this seedless stuff. We come from a seed. So why are we not eating seeds? So for me, it's finances and finding it. But most people I know, it's finances. That's the biggest complaint my one associate has is, well, it's expensive to eat healthy. It's expensive to go to certain grocery stores and buy organically. I was like, well, organic doesn't always really mean organic. But that's probably what it is. It's a keyword. It's a buzzword that manufacturers use to put, just like they say, this is, they say this is, meat free. It's not meat free. What is the term they use for it? Oh, can't think of what it is right now, but it's, whatever the term is that they use now for everything to say it's meat free. And I see it on stuff that I'm like, this is not something that's made with meat anyway.
Gluten
So
free?
why is this term? No, we're not even gonna talk about that one. I'm so sick of hearing people say that they are gluten intolerant. Shut up. It's the same. I have a relative who says, "I bet you ate the same foods I ate when we were coming up. We ate the exact same thing. You were never sick. But now all of a sudden you eat a piece of bread and it's gluten and you got all the problems. You don't shut the hell up." Oh my God. Plant based. That's it. Thank you, P. Carey. Plant based.
That's the word you were looking for?
Around so much, and I'm like, this is plant based anyway. What are we talking about? I seen it on mustard one day. Plant based mustard. I'm sorry.
I know, right? Like, what the fuck did you have in it before? Yo, it's pork in the mustard.
Yeah, the mustard always been plant-based. What
Damn. Like, no, we don't make that shit with mustard seeds. We make that shit with the pig from Charlotte's Web. You always wonder what happened to him, right?
But that's just, it's one of those buzzwords that's thrown around to sound healthy. And unfortunately, a lot of times organic is too. So, and I don't think there's ever going to be a win to this. That's the honest truth. I don't think there's ever going to be a win to this. So
I think there is. I think there is a win, but the wins are going to be individual. They're not going to. It's not going to apply to everybody. Everybody can't go, and even the ones that go can't go together. You know what I'm saying? But I think that there's definitely a way for everybody to be healthy. But just like I may not have like sickle cell anemia and somebody else may have. So with the things that they may have to do in order for them to stay healthy might be different than the things that I have to do. So the things that they may have to eat in order to, or ingest, I should say, in order to keep their body right and to keep their health up, may be different than what I can do. I mean, because all of us have seen the differences between the things that we were able to eat with no pain or no complications when we were younger and how it is now. You know what I mean? Like if I had a nickel for everybody I know from last week who had like some stomach issues going on, including myself. You know what I mean? I know I would have more than 50 Cent. Mm-hmm. So there's shit going on out here. You know what I mean? There are things going on out here. But it's just like, you know, I mean, this is a totally different direction. I'm not going to take it here, but it's just like black people thinking that, you know, we all just going to get reparations by just waiting for it or asking for it. It's not going to happen. So, you know, we have to do the things to maintain in the meantime. Like, I can't just sit around the crib like, yo, I'm waiting on my reparations. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell my landlord, yo, I'm waiting on that reparations check. I got you. You know what I mean? It should be coming through next month. But yeah. So you have to get to know yourself. You have to educate yourself on what your options are out there, because there are limitless options. You know what I mean? But then think about it. With all of the options that are out there, then we have people like your friend and like plenty of people that I know who just say, man, fuck that. I'm not eating no nasty ass food. And that's a big part of the problem. Just like when Stacey was on earlier, and, you know, she was talking about how, you know, certain foods made her happy. She ain't the only one. So, you know, I mean, when we talking about how some food is linked to depression or depression or whatever, that's all mental. You know what I'm saying? But then you get so deep into it and you have to ask yourself, well, how much of it is really mental? Of course, if you're not afflicted with anything like this, like me, I don't have that type of relationship with food. There's no food that I have to have. And there's definitely never been any food that put a smile on my face. But that's me. Just because my experience is not that, it doesn't mean that somebody else's experience isn't like that. You understand what I mean? So they have to find ways, not just the physical ways to do better for themselves, but they also have to get started on changing their mind state. And that's a big part of it. Because, and oh man, shout out to all my senior citizens out there. You know what I mean? Because we knocking on that door right now. Who knows if when we is 75, 80 years old, if we're blessed enough to be able to live that long, who knows if we going to just willingly be like, yo, I ain't nothing that ain't good for me. I'm trying to make it to 100, young blood. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Might be like, man, shit. I'm gonna start eating pork again. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Like what are we doing? So I don't know. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but we have to be understanding of other people's struggles as well. And what they don't, they're going with what they know, along with their personal feelings and all of that kind of shit. So we have a lot to combat, but I don't really think that we should concentrate on saving too many people except for ourselves, because shit, you know what I mean? And these deep waters, I don't know how well we're swimming.
That's true.
You know?
Well, and health is not just what you consume anyway. Health is it's a lot of things tied to it, and even how we eat. Like you said, it's mental, but it's other stuff too that we don't even realize. Sleep, it's the oxygen, it's water, hydration.
Yeah.
All of these things, and it's missed in there somewhere. The education wasn't there in its honest, respectable way when we were coming up. And so, yeah, just even this whole thought of soul food as far as our culture, it's hard to tell someone who has been raised on it and has always believed in it, who's been taught this is part of the food pyramid, that it's not healthy in the terms of the let's make the greens and macaroni and cheese and baked beans, and potato salad, and all this stuff. Even when Stacey was speaking about chicken salad, I got what you were saying. I understood where she was coming from with it too, because her substitute, because she doesn't like mayo, is ranch dressing. And I'm like, I don't even recall ranch dressing being a thing coming up, but I guess it was. And I too love chicken salad, but I don't care for anything white, like ranch or mayo or anything like that. So
you don't like blue cheese?
Huh?
You don't like blue cheese? Okay.
I mean, it's okay, but I don't like all that in my chicken salad. I like it a little.
Now you said chicken salad. Now, what do you mean by chicken salad? You mean salad with chicken in it?
I like lettuce salad, green salad.
Okay, because y'all just calling. You know what chicken salad is?
Yeah, and I like the other chicken salad too. However, I don't like it with mayo or ranch or anything white in it. So for me, I like an olive oil with lemon juice in it, added to it with the scallions and onions and all the other stuff, versus the one that has mayo in it or ranch or blue cheese or anything like that. So that is the difference. But I like a lettuce salad with chicken in it as well. So like them both.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just, I know there is an assumption that that's a healthier option, and it might be a healthier option in comparison to eating, a big greasy cheeseburger. Probably is a healthier option.
I don't know, man. I mean, a nice big greasy cheeseburger is hard to resist. That shit good. And I haven't.
Sometimes you have to have a little beef just because.
You do. Because you keep eating that organic shit, the plant-based shit, your body stop responding to that shit. You need something to shake it up, like a cheesesteak.
A cheesesteak. That's the answer.
Every now and then, you know what I mean? So, because your body will be like, oh no, we gotta attack this cheesesteak, and then it can get back right. If everything I'm not even bullshitting. If you keep eating,
I know where you're coming coming from with it. I exactly know where you're coming from.
Metabolism is a crazy thing. Just like when you do the same exercises, your body stop responding to that shit. Be like, this is the regular shit. We know it. We know what he or she is going to do. We know how long they're going to do it. Blah blah. And it stops responding to it. When you ramp it up a little bit more, or you change it to get other muscles that weren't being used involved, then it starts responding again. And that's how you start losing weight again. So that's for people who hit a wall of weight loss. It's because you're doing the same things and your body has stopped responding to it. Like metabolism is a crazy thing, but it doesn't. It likes routine, but only up to a certain degree. So that's the same thing with the foods that you eat. When you first start eating those foods, it's foreign to your system, and you may start to see your body responding to the benefits that it's supposed to be given to you. But after you do it every day, then your body's like, yeah, all right.
Like people who do intermittent fasting. I'm like, that's not meant to do 7 days a week.
It's like people who always do the same sexual position.
Why does that always happen? I feel like every time it makes a comparison, that's where it goes. Why?
Because people can relate. You know what I mean? When you start talking about sex and violence, people start listening like, yup, you right. Because he do the same thing every day. And it was working at first. So if you start eating different, then you'll start sexing different.
Well, that's true, though. That is true. Listen, when I hear people say, I'm always like, what are you doing? They're like, hey, we going out and having this steak. We going out and having this surf and turf dinner, steak and shrimp and lobster. Then we going to go home and get it in. I'm like, ugh, yuck. What are you doing? First of all that is too heavy to go home and have good sex. That's first and foremost. And secondly, because that stuff comes out of your body. And what kind of good sex y'all having after a heavy meal like that? I'm just trying to understand. If you didn't go home and have good sex, the meal should be a bunch of produce. And I'm not saying a bunch because that has it's outpouring as well. So maybe try something light, little juice, some hydrating foods, and some water, maybe some teas. That's what works. That's what makes sense. So, people do what they do because they think it's better.
Yeah, well, switching things up after a while can be a good thing. Now, I ain't saying that, you gotta be like, well, this week I'm going to do this and that. You don't have to switch it up that fast, but you want to make sure that you don't get into a negative routine to whereas you are kind of canceling out your potential to have more positive advancement or gains or whatever. So that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, I mean, you have to, once again, the education thing is not just going to school. It's not just reading. It's not just watching videos. It's everything. It's everything you incorporate to learning more. Because you will change things and change the way you are with the more knowledge that you gain. And that's what you want to do. There are a lot of people out here that want to lose weight. I've known people who had trouble gaining weight. They may have had a condition that kept them really, really thin, you know what I mean? And that might have been dangerous for them. I knew one person in particular that was afflicted with something like that, and she couldn't gain weight. And she started to, she's doing better now. She started to pick up a little bit of weight. But you know how weight gain is. You know what I mean? Once you unlock the weight gain thing, you got to be careful because it's harder to turn off than it is to turn on. For real.
Well,
But
you know what's crazy? I know someone who went and had that bariatric surgery, and for whatever reason, she didn't. Her response wasn't like the other people I know who had it. She started to lose weight, and she couldn't stop.
mm,
And I remember her one day just crying. She's like, "I wish to God I had never done this because I'm so weak now, and no matter what I do, I can't gain weight." Because nothing will stay in her system long enough to benefit her because she constantly was pooping it out
mm.
or having to vomit. And she's had to go through additional surgery just to get herself back in order from that. And that's another thing. This whole ideology that small means healthy is I think that's an issue that needs to be addressed, but we don't talk about it. We don't even discuss it because it's just this race to be the smallest, to be the roundest, to be the thickest, to be the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the health piece is not addressed. Because health small doesn't mean healthy.
Yeah, that's a fact. I've known at least one person that died from the weight loss surgery. So it's serious. That shit ain't. I mean, but you have to consider some things, and a lot of people don't really take time to consider the fact that it takes a while to actually put on weight. So when you so-called balloon up to a certain weight or whatever, of course it looks like you put on the weight fast to people who know you from before. But when you really think about it, it takes years to put on like 100 pounds or more or whatever. But we expect to lose that weight within a matter of weeks or months. And so we get these surgeries. Shit. Sorry about that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, it takes a long time to put on weight. So just like a tree takes a while to grow, a long time to grow. You can't just, start chipping away at shit and whatever and think that the body isn't going to respond to it. Like it's like knocking something off of a shelf that you're used to having on that shelf. So you want to be looking there for that thing that's normally on that shelf. And when somebody has moved it, it's going to throw you off for a while. And your body, your cells, your molecules and all of that react the same way to when you make a major change to the body. And it's really attacking that. So the doctors and the surgeons, they know this shit. They know that there are going to be problems with you getting that weight loss surgery. And that's why it takes so long before they allow you to get it.
No, not anymore.
Well,
Not anymore. Anybody can get it. They will write a prescription and make it okay. I remember when it was first introduced and someone I know was getting it, they had to go through some kind of consultation. That was like a week or 2 weeks or something like that. But now there's not even a consultation. If you want it, you can get it. And people are going to get it 2 and 3 times, which is insanity to me. God rest her soul. I miss Lisa with every ounce of love in my heart, and it breaks my heart on a regular basis that she's not here. But part of what happened to her is because she went and had that not the bariatric surgery, the other one, um with the sleeve. She got the sleeve
Oh
done, so
shit.
she had it done twice. She had it done a long time ago, and from what she explained back then, over time you have to go get it tightened up. So that's not discussed in the beginning, really. You have to get it tightened up, and then over time, if you aren't keeping up with any kind of consistent eating, working out, blah, 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 then you have to get it done all over again. And unfortunately, the second time she got it done, whatever that is they use for it, it had copper in it. It has a little trace of copper in it. And that copper leaked inside her body.
This is really the problem with a lot of that shit. And I mean, you know, and this is just personal for me. I'm not going under the knife for any non-life threatening procedure. Like, not gonna fucking happen. You know what I mean? There are enough problems or complications when it comes to surgery. But when you think about what your body does to respond to being opened up, just like, well, all right, when somebody has advanced cancer, notice they never want to open them up. They don't want to give them surgery. Why? Because that allows it allows the cancer to spread crazy rapidly.
Yep.
But we don't think of,
Almost immediate.
and then we don't think about that in non-cancerous terms. But it's the same type of thing. You really you're really rolling the dice anytime you go under the knife. That's why motherfuckers getting all of these shit. I seen people get fucked up over regular cosmetic surgery. BBLs and shit.
Louder for the people in the back who don't understand what you're saying. Like, it is so true what you're saying about that opening up your body. Like, it took me a long time to accept my mother's decision to move the way she moved. And it hurt me so much that she made the decision, but it took me a long time to understand why. She knew if they start cutting on her, that was it. And she was like, she was not going out that way. So she opted out of the surgeries that they wanted to do and just decided it's going to be what it's going to be. You know, I don't understand this mentality to have all this unnecessary cosmetic surgery under the guise of it's going to improve my life. Because what was your life up until that point? You know, I have a loved one who went and did that and had that surgery, and my honest opinion is every bit of confidence they had before that, they no longer have after it. Because they're even more self-conscious than they've ever been. They had that surgery and now they're covered up all the time. But when she was big, this chick would walk out and put on a T-strap shirt and a short dress and live her best fucking life. And now she's covered up like an old woman. So it didn't benefit her. And it's made her even more insecure than she's ever been. And I don't think people realize it because it's not talked about. And sadly, somewhere in there, they're convinced that if someone's against you doing it or saying something about it, those are your haters. Those are people who don't want you to be, air quote, healthy. But there's no health involved in it. Because even in recovery, what they serve them in the hospital in recovery is apple juice that's concentrated, pudding, fruit cups, all the stuff that's not healthy. That's what they're serving them in recovery in the hospital. So I'm just always like, this is an oxymoron. This thing is an oxymoron because it doesn't make sense. You're doing a surgery to help yourself to be smaller, but they're serving you all the stuff that increases your weight. Listen, I know somebody who had the surgery and immediately after she said, go to McDonald's and get me a grilled chicken sandwich with no bread, just lettuce, tomato, onion, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Am I okay? Because I gotta be. I must be doing crack and don't know it. Because this absolutely doesn't make sense. And the doctor was okay with it. And I'm like, there's a bigger problem. Now, I'm not trying to say all doctors are shitters, but there's a large community of them who are like, hey, run me that 10G over here for this, that, and the third, and then that other 75 for the surgery itself.
Well, the other thing about the medical community is that they haven't been trained to cure anything. They don't even talk about cures. They only talk about treatment. So everything for them, goes back to the pharmaceutical industry because that's who are, greasing their palms and paying their bills. So, they fall in line with that. And some of them actually, fall into the trap themselves. So you would think that they would be smarter than that, but they get caught up just like it's. I hate to say this shit. The American Medical Association is just like politics. It's just like the Democrats and the Republicans. So they may start off wanting to do a good job, but then they realize, oh, this shit is all about the money. And if I don't go for the money, I can't survive. So they go by the money. They go for the money. Now they may not start off. They may not start off meaning to do that, but eventually it gets there. You know what I mean? Like, oh, all right, I'll do what everybody is doing just for a little while, and then I'll find my own way to do better. And that way gets farther away from them, and they never get to it. So, yeah.
Because it feels good. It's like a bank robber who just keeps robbing banks and getting away with it. It feels good, so they just keep doing it until, hey, guess who's going to prison?
I mean, come on, man. Like that shit with cancer and chemo, they know chemo has a 4% success rate. 4%. It shouldn't exist. 4%.
We don't even, we're not taught that. I'm telling you, in the beginning of my mother, I was so like, please go do what they said. Please, I begged her, please. And I was so mad at her because I was like, why didn't she do this? And it took me a long time to realize this is why she did it. This is why she did it, because she knows there's no life after that. There's nothing positive that comes with it. And I know there are people who have had chemo, who have survived, and they're still here. And God bless and thank God for their still being here. But God, the life they live, the sickness that comes with it. And some are just like, please let me just go. Take me out today.
Yeah, I know. And until you're in that position, you don't really. There's no way you could understand. You're not supposed to understand, but you can find yourself in that position, and it is what it is. So it's sad. But yeah, all of this. The fucked up part about all of this to me is that you could be one of the most health regimen following people and you could still fuck around and get cancer. Now that shouldn't defeat you to the point where you say, well, look at such and such. they ate right every day. They rejected this. They exercised and did the right thing. And look, they still got fucked up. That shouldn't discourage you because everybody's journey is different.
Well,
But
skin health is just not food. It's a lot of things. Stress is a silent killer for a lot of people, especially women.
but they say food will reduce the stress or eliminate it.
No, it absolutely does not.
Well, that's not untrue. You literally are what you put in your body. Once you start really learning how it works. But the thing is, you have to make it work for yourself. You know what I mean? Like I talk like this because I've spent so much time I'm around naturopathic practitioners. They'll tell you, they be like, no, I'm telling you, it's the food. And we don't, and because we don't really believe that, we think the food is supplemental to our health, not really realizing that it's essential. Whatever you put in will determine the output. Your whole thought processes, your ability to concentrate or not, your mood, whether you are depressed or happy or confused or confident or sure. They say it's all in the food, but you have to know how to do it. It's like once you become a scientist at it, once you become a mixologist at it, once you become well versed in it, then you realize like it all starts with the food and everything else is supplemental. Everything.
But people too have to understand your body craves what it needs.
Right.
It craves what it needs. Like I hear people say, I don't know, I just had a craving for some green vegetables. Your body is telling you it is depleted of something. That's why you're craving it. People think cravings are, oh, I'm craving this sugar, I'm craving this salt, I'm craving these chips. No, your body is craving a nutrient that's missing at this moment.
Yeah, and that's a fact, and that's going to be a hard thing for people to understand. Like every organ in your body is every food that you eat is attached to an organ in your body. So, with that being said, and knowing that, finding out, and most of all, accepting that, then you can go about really, really getting things, the way that you want them and need them in your life through the food. But we also have to remember that when we talk about food, we're not just talking about fruits and vegetables or meats or fish. We're also talking about the herbs. The herbs are what's going to, that's going to be what gets you where you need to, because that's the medicine. And all of the medicines are taken from those herbs. They just modify them and refine them, quote unquote, refine, enrich. You got to watch out for words like that because they make you think.
Say it again, enrich.
Yeah.
That's one used a lot.
Yeah, like enriched flour, rice, all that shit.
Well, that's just like people, they spread the ideology. First of all, salt is not a spice, not a seasoning. It is a finisher. But a lot of people don't know that. And pure spices come from herbs. Mm-hmm. Even when they spread this thing, the paprika is just for color. Well, pure, real paprika is not just for color. It has nutritional benefits to it. And it should have a little kick to it because real paprika has capsaicin in it, which is vital to the body.
Right.
But that stuff that's bought on the store shelf, that stuff that has no taste to it, it's probably not real paprika. That's coming from an herb. And that's even when it comes to drinking tea. That's why they say it's important to have real tea leaves. Mm-hmm. Real tea leaves are herbs that have been dried. That's why it's okay for you to take and drink a basil tea, or drink a clove tea, even soursop. That's a leaf. That's a herb. Mm-hmm. So, that knowledge just has to be out there. And this
Yeah.
FDA has failed at the knowledge, because why would they tell us?
Yeah.
There's no money in us knowing. There's no money in us being healthy.
There really isn't. But
There's no money in American people living a healthy lifestyle. There's no money. They even are talking bad against the people who have these blue zones. And if for anybody who doesn't know, basically in short, blue zone is a space where it's a lot of these older people who are living expensive life, because they have a space where they are growing their own food, they are eating healthier, they are using a lot more herbs, they're walking away from prescription and opting in for a different way of living. They're walking, they're trying to have a clean space and all that. So in the blue zones, they are living to be over 100 years old. And now this SBA is even speaking against that, because there's no money to be made when the population is living to be 100 years plus and healthy and happy and stress-free. What? Happy people are living long and they're healthy? Well, we're not going to make shit from this. We better continue to destroy them. Mm-hmm. So let's talk back this blue zone so they don't believe that something. We'll call it a myth and say that it's fake. So they'll continue to eat all of these bad things, all this processed food, all this engineered produce. So, because we got to keep our pockets fat. We got to stay rich. Fuck them.
Yep. All right, Kim. Well, I appreciate your commentary to the fullest. Very, very informative. Very, very informative. And I'm sure that this has been helpful to some people. Some people know exactly what you were talking about, you and I were talking about, and some people. But even when you know, sometimes you need a reminder. Sometimes you need a refresher. Sometimes you need that little spark, that little cattle pride that says, "Oh damn, you know what? I do know better, but I've been fucking up lately." You know what I'm saying? And especially when it comes to the food, sometimes you've been making it along with the shit that you've been doing, and you can fool yourself into believing that it's going to be all right later on. Next thing you know, you get the flu and you realize, like, or
the stomach bug, like
the stomach bug, or some gallbladder shit. You the last thing you want is some intestinal issues. Ooh. You know what I mean? You don't want to be buckling over and all of that shit, but that's what it'll lead to. You don't want that. You don't want none of that shit. You know. But I want to thank you for calling in. I appreciate you. Oh, hold on. Let's do the poll question. See what people say. Out of 29 votes, what is your biggest gripe about trying to eat healthy food? 31% says most of it is nasty. 52% represent the economy. Organic food costs way too much. 10% says, I don't think it really works. And 7% says health food is served cold too much. Yeah, there are people who believe that that shit don't fucking matter. You know what I mean? All you got to do is not eat too much of whatever you're eating. And they're not wrong about that. But then they're wrong about that. You know what I mean? Because if it ain't helping, it's hurting. It ain't neutraling. That's for sure. You know? It's like the thermostat in your house. You either turned it up or you turned it down. That thermostat is going to make the heater do whatever you tell it to do. So it either made it warmer or it made it colder. It didn't make it the same. Once again, I want to thank you. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate you. You know,
For sure.
and they
Happy
definitely,
birthday today.
all right. And they definitely need to do something about the cost because that's going to be that shit is going to make a difference. You know what I mean? The money that's in your wallet is gonna make this thing a lot easier or keep it being very hard. So
That's why co-ops exist. I suggest everybody get into a food co-op as much as they can, especially when it's seasonal. But everybody have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Be at peace. Love.
all right. Thank you. All right, y'all. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious December 21st, last day of Sagittarius, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them, making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Paula Wilkins and Jamie Underwood, Candace Gaston, and last but not least, Tanya Frederick. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious December 21st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on into the rock out, rock on and do the damn rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, what you put in your body is what's gonna come out your body. And it's more than just, when they say that you are what you eat, they mean more than just, like you're not gonna eat a cucumber and become a cucumber. You're not gonna become green and oblong. But what's gonna happen is those nutrients that go into whatever it is that you are eating are going to have a positive or a negative effect on your health. So the more you learn about, what's good for you and what's not so good for you, and once you can get to the point where you start making those determinations, it's going to have a really, really big effect on whether you're sick today or well tomorrow, and how long it may take you to recover from illnesses and conditions, and how well your body responds to medicines, treatments, even things as little or as big as just twisting your ankle. And anybody who has ever twisted their ankle really bad or sprained their ankle really bad, that shit can take a good while to recover from. But guess what? You might be able to rub a piece of broccoli on that shit and be, walking right by next week. I'm serious and I'm joking. I'm joking and I'm serious. I'm rich and I'm poor. I feel like I've been on this earth many times before. Listen, I want to thank y'all for coming through. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night. Monday going into Tuesday, 2 a.m. Eastern time for another Daily Go Getimism show. And Anthony, yes, fasting does work. But you can't just fast all willy-nilly. Like, I'm just going to not eat nothing and I'm going to be better. You got to know what you're doing. The education piece, and I'm not trying to indicate that you don't know what you're doing. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that you have to know what's good for you. So it's more than just knowing what to do. You have to know the days and times. Days, times, and purposes. All right, so what we gonna do? I be using up so much broadband. This shit don't make no sense, y'all. It don't make no sense. I want y'all to all have a very good, positive rest of the afternoon. No exceptions to that. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And I hope y'all enjoyed listening to the show as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. Thank you, Kim, for calling in. Thank you, Stacy, for calling in. Holla! Peace, y'all.